Part A. Number 10. The dissolution of tension. Bigger is not always betterer. Star Wars Episode 2 proves that George Lucas is truly the master of the art of ruining things. People can't seem to get too involved in these movies, and they're probably not sure exactly why.
We're keepers of the peace, not soldiers.
They call them big video games, and they say they're too reliant on special effects.
It doesn't mean that technology is going to make the film any better. That has nothing to do with art.
Or it's because anytime there's a scene that could possibly have some tension and excitement in it, it's dissolved away by its own internal contradictions. Let's take the speeder chase, for example. The movie creates a dazzling environment of dangerous heights, nauseating speeds, and millions of things you can crash into. Then it totally ruins all of this by turning the rules of reality into a cartoony farce, thus dissolving all the tension away. Obi-Wan and Anakin are falling thousands of stories and jumping out of the speeder like it's nothing at all. The implausibility of things that happen in the scene are so astounding that it makes me laugh out loud. It becomes like a Warner Brothers cartoon. All these crazy visuals and effects, and it's no more exciting than if they just chased her on foot.
It's so dense, every single image has so many things going on.
Shut up! There's only one thing that's dense here, and it ain't the frame. Now this also includes the completely pointless and stupid robot assembly line sequence. I can guarantee you that if you threw a real person onto that assembly line, they'd get fucking killed in like 2 seconds. Next, Obi-Wan is flying his little ship around, and Boba Fett is firing at him with some kind of super rapid-fire laser. He's got targeting sensors and scanners, and he can fire like 30 shots every second, and he seems to be right on the mark, but he can't hit him. Why can't he hit Obi-Wan's ship? He hits every single molecule around his ship but his ship. Instantly, all the tension evaporates. Then you watch him shoot even more. Flying and shooting and dodging rocks and flying in and out of rocks and things all over the place and shooting and more shooting and constant explosions and rocks, and so much happens so fast that you can't even process it with your brain.
It's so dense, every single image has so many things going on.
You see, you just can't start throwing tons of things on the screen because you can, and then make it go real fast and expect your audience to feel tension. Too much, too fast will disconnect the audience from reality and cancel out the excitement, because they gotta project themselves into the scene. We all understand the rules of physics in real life, and if you bend it too far, you sever the connection of the audience. It's why a sequence like this is nowhere near as exciting as this. Number 11. Big Dumb Ending. At last, we get to the big dumb ending, where we see the excitement and the passion that thousands of computer animators have for getting paychecks. So the big battle begins and the Jedi fight the robots. Mace and Obi-Wan meet up on the battlefield, and Mace asks Obi-Wan how the investigation into Padme's assassin is going. So Yoda shows up and starts an intergalactic war in order to rescue friends. First they need rescuing, then they need rescuing, then he starts dumping millions of clones to fight millions of robots, and somehow laments the whole war thing.
Begun. The Clone War.
Hey, you started it, idiot. So now we gotta sit through this seizure-inducing battle between two forces we don't care at all about. Robots and clones. At least in the last movie, we might have sorta cared about the Gungans a little. Oh, Christ, I'm referencing the Phantom Menace as a positive example? Okay, then Dooku leaves for some reason. Now, Dooku spent all his time on Geonosis hanging out in the Bug's fortress, right? But when he goes to leave, he gets on a flying motorcycle and flies away to a different hangar bay that's like 75 miles away. Then the Jedi chase after him, and I guess Padme falls out of the ship. Now, they didn't really know where Dooku was going. They might have suspected it was a hangar bay, but it could have just been a ship somewhere. Maybe he wasn't going anywhere. Maybe he was leading them into a trap where there's a whole second front of battle droids waiting for him. Point is, when Padme lands on the sand, she says,
"We've got to get to that hangar."
How did you know they were going to a hangar bay? Did you read the script too? What's that in the sand over there? Is that the script? So Anakin and Obi-Wan find Dooku. And then Obi-Wan says,
We'll take them together. You're going slowly on the left.
going slowly on the left? What the fuck does that mean? You're not chiseling a marble statue here. Don't you know how fast these fights can go? Plus, Dooku can hear what you're saying. So then lightsaber fight 873A begins. Difficulty level 8. Anakin and Obi-Wan are both low in force power and energy levels from fighting in the arena and the battle. However, Dooku's power levels are at 100% because he hasn't had to exert himself yet. He starts off with the Force Bolt, directed at Anakin, causing him to lose a great deal of his force power. Obi-Wan then deflects his Force Bolt with a move called Force Block, using his lightsaber. Obi-Wan is tired. His stamina and force power is rapidly diminishing. This allows Dooku to get the best of him. Anakin's had a moment to rest, and he's recharged his force power enough to use Force Jump and deflect Dooku's attack. Obi-Wan tosses Anakin his lightsaber, and Anakin goes into Twin Saber Assault mode. Dooku knows he doesn't have time to mess around, and he needs to get off Geonosis quickly. He has a good amount of force power left, so he uses some of it with something called Sith Block, a power where the dark side causes momentary confusion. Dooku cuts Anakin's arm off and then force pushes him again.